Well, look at this. We've got our first Christmas card. 3rd of December, we get our first bloody Christmas card.
I like the sound of that.
Get it down on the floor! Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up!
Shit, it's a raid.
Open the bloody door!
Locked in the control room, all right, but the men are outside. These guys have got guns.
I can't! Open the bloody door or else I'll shoot him! Please, open the door or he's gonna shoot me! Open the front door.
Okay.
I could have kept the doors closed, but what could have happened? And I wouldn't have want any of my crew's death in my hands. You get a horrible gut feeling. Somebody's been in, they've taken so many years away. You know, it's like somebody coming in, turning over your house.
Nearby, rush hour traffic was building, coming out of the estate. Behind the white van was a white Vauxhall Senator. They turned onto the Old Coast Road, heading south out of Aberdeen. 3 miles on is the village of Portlethen.
I was raging. Yeah, I just wanted to go after the car and ask the guy what the hell he was doing. I just kept on following. He went towards Asda.
Meanwhile, another witness saw the white van arrive and head towards a remote car park.
When I went into Asda car park, I watched where he went. Well, I actually followed him and watched all his movements. He dropped a guy off and who went into a dark blue car, and I thought there was something suspicious. Well, he had dark hair. He looked like an Arab guy, like a dark-skinned. He looked to me as though he was very suspicious.
Not far from Asda is Portlethen Church.
Is the girls' brigade on tonight? Roll your window down. Is the girls' brigade on tonight? Go.
He was mid to late 20s. I would have described him as being quite fat, quite clean looking, and there was nothing about the car that would have stuck out. Just a dead ordinary red Escort. You know, there's thousands of them you see every day.
Who was he waiting by the church? Maybe quite unconnected with the robbery. But an hour later...
UBTL, there are 2 vehicles on fire, a Vauxhall Senator and a Bedford minivan. Over.
Peter Simpson, in fact, you had a huge public response on this before the reward was announced.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest responses I've ever known in an inquiry like this. In the first 7 days, we were really inundated with information.
So you know a great deal about how to track where the gang were. Of course, now you need to find out who they are. Your concentration on this huge reward is presumably because you want to detach people who are relatively close to the gang.
Yeah, this reward, I think, is really intended for someone who is close to the gang, who has some intimate knowledge of the gang, and who can give us information which will lead to their arrest and conviction.
Now, how sure do you want them to be before they call? You're talking about people who've really just heard things on the grapevine, they're pretty sure they know who did it, or just people who look like any of these 4 or who might have had previous for this sort of thing?
We certainly would welcome any suggestions at all. But if anyone has specific information which would really assist us in this inquiry, I can assure them that that would be treated with the strictest confidence.
Now, there's a local connection because the two vehicles were stolen in Aberdeen and stored there for a couple of weeks. But there's an English connection as well. One of the guys seemed to have an English accent. They stole largely Scottish currency. It's going to be pretty hard for them to get rid of that. That's large sums, largely Royal Bank of Scotland.
Yeah, the vast majority of the money stolen was in Royal Bank of Scotland, 10 and 20 pound notes. And again, I'm hoping the reward will stir someone to give us a call into the incident room or the studio here. Pretty
nerve-wracking to do that. These guys threaten to kill people. They're going around with guns. People are going to be frightened about their names getting out to the gang.
Well, as I say, there's been I've personally no knowledge of any breach of confidentiality with information north of the border, and I can certainly assure the viewers that it won't happen in this case.
Well, up to £250,000. The person or the people who can solve this, and there's no premium line phone numbers here. It's a free call, 0500 600 600, and more officers are standing by in Aberdeen. That's 01224 386 868. That's Aberdeen, 386 868.
The attack itself was very, very violent. It happened in Birkenhead town centre at about 1 a.m. See if you know who this gunman is. He's in his 20s, about 5'8", thin, and a...
Operation Tornado, a whirlwind of police activity to stop a one-man crime ring. This man got more than he bargained for. He was found rifling through a house in Peckham. Someone else in the house grabbed a pogo stick and beat the burglar on the head. Here he is, leaving hospital after treatment. Do you recognise him?
We found out afterwards he'd been smoking crack cocaine in our bedroom. The thing I found most chilling was I felt if I hadn't been surrounded by people who were going to help me, that it all could have been much, much nastier. What actually happened because of Crimewatch is that he was detected and was actually stopped in the street much sooner than anybody had anticipated. And this, I really feel, is the value of the programme. Other families or individuals have been spared the kind of trauma my family went through because of this.
Now a face caught by hospital security cameras. Do you know who he is? 2 months ago, a man punched a woman and stole her handbag in Hampstead, North London. But he was seen by passers-by who chased him in their car. When they trapped him in the driveway, the suspect suddenly collapsed. An ambulance was called and he was taken to hospital, but disappeared before he was seen by a doctor. I doubt if he knew he was being filmed when he was wheeled in for treatment. If you know who this is, please let us know. He's 6'3" and around 19. 0500 600 600, or you can call the local police on 0181 733 6659. That's 0181 733 6659.
I have another good video, a remarkable domestic one, and a surprisingly audacious crime. This is King Standing, Birmingham, and this man with the unusual walk is making sure nobody's at home. In a moment, you'll see his accomplice arrive and double-check. They're both about 20, medium height and build, and very recognisable. Now watch what happens next. The blue transit van is an R-Reg with black bull bars. The caravan is a green and white Abbey 215 GT, and its windows are etched with the numbers 61518. If you've seen the caravan, sold it or bought it, or you can tell us who the thieves are, either call us here on 0500 600 600 or try the police station at King Standing 0121 354 1111. That's Birmingham 354 1111.
Well, I'm pleased to say that you're answering our pleas. You're calling in with information. We've had 78 calls so far on the stalker in East London. 6 names have been put forward, and a police constable has also rung in with some interesting information. But I know there's a lot of excitement over here. Deputy Assistant Commissioner John Grieve. John, tell me, you've yourself taken some interesting calls on your case, haven't you?
Some calls about race hate crime, about people who have been spraying people accompanied by verbal abuse. But we've also taken 2 really good calls on the murder itself, about people we'll become very interested in. We're actioning at the moment.
Well, let's hope you have even more news for us in the update. Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
After last month's appeal, this man was identified as Vincent Smith, a 31-year-old from Northumberland.